All right, welcome back to the channel. So, Errol Spence and Danny Garcia, I think, is going to be an absolutely gigantic fight because it is, again, getting pushed by the NFL. And also, Errol Spence Jr. talks about a problem that he is worried about with, or maybe worried about with Danny Garcia, and it's that chin, which could make it a very, very long night. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back, welcome back. So I got my tickets from Dallas. I am excited to be going to this fight. Got me some floor seats, not cheap, but I did find a way to buy a solo one. So shout out to my friends that helped me out with that. I really, really appreciate it because I did not want to have to buy 4 just to sit on the floor. That's how excited though I am for this fight because I might have done it if I could not have found a way to get a single one. And I think you'll also see that with a lot of other people, man. I think that this is really going to be the first big major fight of the year. And the reason why I believe it's going to be, actually the second one, because Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury was in February. But since all of this stuff came down, because Errol Spence versus Danny Garcia is going to be on Fox, and they are really pushing this heavy on through the NFL. And when you push these fights through the NFL, you actually have an opportunity to get what ESPN and DAZN and everybody else actually, says that they want to get, but don't act like they know how to get, and that is the casual boxing fan. The mysterious missing money from the bank account that everybody's looking for. They don't care about the people that are steadily paying the money. Take us for granted, right? However, the ones that ain't paying no money, let's just go to the ends of the world to get them and bring them in. Making silly fights like, I don't know, Mike Tyson, Roy Jones Jr. at 50 years old. Ridiculous fights like, what were those YouTube fights that were being made with Logan Paul and KS1 or KSRSCT, whatever they are. All these goofy gimmicks that they get to try to bring in these casual fans. But the PBC, and by partnering with Fox, which is a free network, right? So it's just free television. And it also partners with the NFL, where there are many, many sports fans that consider themselves to be casual boxing fans, not fans that are in love with the UFC, right? And let's try to get the UFC guys over here. The people that like those are diehard UFC fans. That's what they're going to like. It's very hard to be a super diehard fan about 2 sports, right? I can't imagine being a diehard fan in some other sport like I am with boxing. There's just not enough hours in a day. Regardless, those are the guys that they're always looking to bring in, and I believe that you're going to see a lot of them come in for the Errol Spence Jr. versus Danny Garcia fight because it is being pumped directly to the quote-unquote casual fan who may ride with them because you associate it with the football game. They've done it with Errol Spence Jr. They've done it with they did it with Gervonta Tank Davis. And in both of those scenarios, the local teams, both Dallas and Baltimore, get up and really support those fighters and creates for them a base, right? Where you can then grow out and bring more people in. So I'm really excited for it. I loved seeing on Thanksgiving, people were telling me that they were seeing the commercials up and all that stuff. So hopefully we can see 500,000, 600,000 people watch this fight. And I think 400,000 is safe. But man, if it could get up to 600,000, then I think, hey man, we're really doing some stuff. And then maybe more people will be willing to, come over and do that type of fight on Fox. Because Fox is really the network that is the free network in the United States, where when they put those replays on, everybody that has a television set or who has access to that app has the ability to see it. And I think that is going to actually be a huge thing for the winner of Errol Spence Jr. and Danny Garcia. Now, the reason why I say it's going to be a huge thing for the winner is because it's not guaranteed for sure that we know who's going to win. I'm like 80-20 Errol Spence Jr., 70-30 Errol Spence Jr. I think that there's a big chance that Errol Spence Jr. can win every round against Danny Garcia and get out of there with a 12-round unanimous decision. There'll be some people that are out there booing him or whatever, saying, man, he didn't get a knockout of Danny Garcia. But look, man, nobody has knocked out Danny Garcia. And Danny Garcia, just like Errol Spence Jr. said, the guy has a granite chin. I have seen him get hit by shots that were clean by Keith Thurman that would have knocked down or seriously hurt a lot of people. And Danny Garcia took that shot, right? So he's got a very, very big chin. I don't think that Errol Spence Jr. is going to you're not going to see some Kell Brook type of stuff where he runs to the other side of the court, to the other side of the ring, sticks his head between the ropes. Not that. I don't think you're going to see that with Danny Garcia. I think you're going to see Errol Spence Jr. starting strong, winning a bunch of rounds, and then eventually Danny's going to have to start coming forward and Errol selling out a little bit more, and then maybe at that point in time, Errol can really start catching him with stuff. I don't really see him, that no-look hook thing. I just don't see that no-look hook making it, man. He's not going to – Errol doesn't leave his jabs out there, right, hanging out there in the wind for him, for Sean to come over the top of him. I mean, not for Sean, for Danny to come over the top of the jab and cause some real damage, or counter the jab like he did with or was that the right hand he countered when Bam Bam Rios left it laying out there and he hit him with that brick something fierce, right? I just don't see those type of things. I just don't see that happening to Errol Spence Jr., man. But as far as what he is capable of doing, look, man, you got to respect Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia, and I've watched this guy throughout his whole career. Matter of fact, Errol Spence Jr.'s trainer said this. And at first I was like, I don't know about that. But then I thought about it, and I was like, Derek James probably might have a point there, where he says that Danny Garcia has the best resume of anybody outside of Manny Pacquiao in the welterweight division. I don't know if he might have said it in boxing when he talked about the names and the things that Danny Garcia has done, and that they are very true. Like, it's been a long time since he beat Lucas Matisse, but man, Lucas Matisse was supposed to be this big wrecking ball that was tearing up everybody, right? He beat Lamont Peterson badly. He was supposed to be the man, and then he got in there with Danny Garcia. It was a good fight. But Danny Garcia broke him up, won the fight, and he was an underdog. Same thing with Amir Khan. Dude, Danny Garcia was an underdog to Amir Khan. Amir Khan slept up, got slept. Like, Danny Garcia is used to going in there. Same thing with Sean. And matter of fact, even in the losses, Sean Porter and Keith Thurman, yes, he lost the first half of those fights. He won the second half of those fights, in my opinion. But the guy shows a tremendous skill. He shows tremendous skill, tremendous belief in himself. Also, Errol Spence Jr. likes to throw in combinations, and Danny Garcia likes punching when you punch. So as much activity as there's going to be with Errol Spence Jr., Danny Garcia is going to have opportunities to let his hands go. So, I mean, I just think this, all in all, man, this is a terrific, terrific fight. But I got Errol Spence Jr. winning, and obviously, the big thing for me and why I think Errol beats him is just this a big talent gap, man. Like, Danny Garcia has the mind, he has the heart, he has the skill. I just don't think Danny Garcia really has the talent to hang the athletic talent that an Errol Spence has, that a Keith Thurman has, that a Sean Porter has, that a Terrence Crawford has. He just doesn't seem to have like that extra something. Like, he doesn't have the foot speed or the hand speed or just, the ability just to rely on his natural reflexes to do something that people don't expect to see. He's straightforward, no special effects, but at the same time, he's so fundamentally sound, and he's so good with his timing is so good that he will forever and always be a difficulty to guys that may have more athletic ability than he does, like Errol Spence Jr. But at the end of it, this is going to be a great event. I'm certainly hoping that it does great numbers. And when Gervonta Davis did, what did Gervonta Davis did? They said he did like 200 to 250,000 pay-per-views. I think the Sean Porter fight, they're saying, did around 350,000 pay-per-views. I expect more from Errol Spence Jr. now than what he got with Sean Porter. And I think a lot of it is going to have to do with that car accident and the fact that people are going to be wondering what's going on. Like, I think if it wasn't for the car accident, then maybe people would be a little less inclined because they think that, oh, maybe Errol can just blow out Danny Garcia. But if you look, the last 2 fights where Errol, I think Errol looked good in both those fights. Definitely show what a boxer he was and how much heart he had in both the fights with Danny Garcia and Errol Spence. And Sean Porter. But he himself said that he didn't believe that he was at 100%. But we'll see how it goes in this fight. You let me know what you think in the comment section. Let me know how many pay-per-view buys you think this will make, or you think that it's going to be a flop. You know, people are predicting flops all the time. But let me know what you think. And with that, I'm out. Peace.